Welcome everyone to the complete course of Python programming language. This course consists of two different modules. In the first module, we are going to discuss about the concepts of complete Python introduction, and also we are going to discuss about the concepts like variables, data types, loops, conditional statements, and functions. In the second module, we are going to discuss about object-oriented programming in Python. So we are going to discuss about how to create class and object in Python, and also we are going to discuss about the concepts like inheritance, polymorphisms, abstraction, and encapsulation. So this course is very useful for the students who are trying to learn Python programming language for the first time. So let's get started. Welcome everyone. In today's class we are going to discuss about how to install Python. For that you have to open the Google Chrome and then you have to type the Python 3.11 download. You can also download any other version. I'm going to download Python 3.11.8. So you have to scroll down. So you have to check whether your PC is 64-bit or 32-bit. So my PC is 64-bit. You have to select that option. So after that you can see your Python file is downloading. So you have to wait for that. So after that you have to open that. So you have to select the two options. So you have to check the path of the file. My path of the file is C and users. And then you have to select install now. So you have to wait for the setup progress to be completed. After the completion of installation, you have to select close. And then you have to open the path of the file. So you have to open the program. Inside the users, you have to select your folder. And then you have to select app data. Inside the local, you have to select. And then you have to search for programs. In that you can see the Python. So you can see all the versions of Python previously installed. So you have to copy the path of this Python file. So you have to copy that. So and then you have to select your PC and properties. So after that you have to search for advanced settings. So advanced PC settings or system settings. So you have to select that. And then you have to select environment variables. So in the user variables path, already your Python 3.11 version is already added in that environment variable. So you don't have to add again. So you have to add in the system variables. So you have to search for the path of the system variables and then you have to select new. After that you have to copy and paste the path of the file. And then you have to select OK, OK, and then OK. So after that you have to open the command prompt. So you have to open that and then you have to type the command for Python version. So you have to select enter. So you can see the default Python version for your computer. So my default Python version is 3.7. So after that we are going to discuss about how to download and install the Python IDEs. For the first, we are going to install the PyCharm IDE for Python. For that, you have to type PyCharm Community Edition. So you have to download the Community Edition because it is free for all developers of Python. So that's why we are using the PyCharm Community Download. So you have to open the website. So you don't have to download the PyCharm Professional version. So it is not free. So it is only free for 30 days. For that you have to scroll down and then you have to download the PyCharm Community Edition. And then you have to select download. So you have to wait for the download process. After the download is completed, you have to install the PyCharm for your Python. So the process of installation of PyCharm is very easy. You have to select next, at last install. So after the installation is completed, you have to open the PyCharm in your desktop. So we have completed the process of how to download and install PyCharm for our Python. So after that we are going to discuss about how to create a new project in the PyCharm. For that you have to select the file. So in that you can see new project option. You have to select that. And then you have to type the project name. and then you have to select the location of the project. After that, you have to select the version of the Python. So you can also select any one of them. So I'm going to choose Python 3.9. So that's it. So that's the process of creating a new project in the PyCharm. So after that, we are going to discuss about how to create a Python file in the PyCharm. So you have to right click the Python folder and then you have to select new Python file. In that you have to type the Python file name. You can type your own words and then you have to select the Python file. So that's it. We have created the Python file in the PyCharm. So I have to type the code for the Python to execute in the PyCharm. So I am going to type the first program in PyCharm. So I am going to print hello world. So you have to type print hello world. And then you have to select the run option. So you can see your Python output is executed successfully. So you can see hello world is executed successfully. So that's the step for executing the Python in the PyCharm. So after that, we are going to discuss about the second IDE for executing the Python. So the second IDE will be Visual Studio Code. So you have to download and install Visual Studio Code, and then you have to open the Visual Studio Code from your desktop. So the process of download and installation is very simple. So after that, you have to create a new file. In that you have to type Python. So you have to type Python. You have to select that. So you can see a new Python file is created in the Visual Studio Code. So after that, you have to save your Python file. So you have to save as. So you have to type the Python file name, program, and then you have to select save. So you can also install Python from the Visual Studio Code. For that, you have to open the extension. So in the extension, you have to type Python. So you can see the first option. So you have to download that and then you have to install the option. So you can also install Python from the Visual Studio Code. So that's it. We have created the new Python file in the Visual Studio Code. We are going to type our first program in the Visual Studio Code. So I am going to print again the hello world. And then you have to save your program, Ctrl S. And then you have to right click and run code. So in the right hand side, you can see the hello world is executed successfully in the terminal of the VS Code. So that's it. We have completed the second IDE for executing the Python. So that's the Visual Studio Code. So after that, we are going to discuss about the last IDE for running the Python. For that, I am going to use this IDE for my course. For that, you have to open the Google and then you have to type Google Colab. So we are going to use Google Colab for running our Python. So you have to select the Google Colab. So Google Colab is an hosted Jupyter notebook. So it is one of the type of the Jupyter notebook. Also, Google Colab provides free access to GPU and CPU. So that's the most important feature of Google Colab. If your computer does not have any GPU or CPU, most of the computer have CPU, but most of the computer don't have GPU. For that, you have to open the Google Colab for executing the machine learning projects, which requires GPU. So after opening the new notebook in the Google Colab, you have to type your project file name. So in that, you have to type your project file name. After that, you have to change the runtime. So you have to select Python 3. and then you have to select any one of the option, whether it is GPU or CPU. If your project is machine learning model required GPU, you have to select T4 GPU. If your project is normal one, you have to select CPU. So for my project, it is a very simple one. For that only I am going to select CPU. So in the Google Colab, you can see there are two options. The first one is the code for writing the code for your Python language, and the second one is the text. So if you want to type any text, you can also use the text option. You have to select the title, and then you have to select bold, and then you have to select text. So if you want to delete any cell, you have to select delete option in the Google Colab. So we are going to type our first program in Google Colab. For that, we are going to type print hello world. So you have to run that. So you can see our output is executed successfully in the Google Colab. So the main important feature of Google Colab is it consists of free GPU and TPU for our project. So in the upcoming class, we are going to discuss about variables, keywords, data types and other functions in the Python. So let's see you in the next class. Welcome everyone to the first class. In today's class, we are going to discuss about complete introduction to Python. So Python is an high-level programming language, and also Python is an object-oriented programming language. So we can use Python for variety of applications like machine learning applications, web development applications. So Python was created by Guido van Rossum, a Dutch programmer. So he named Python after the BBC comedy TV series Monty Python Flying Circus. So Python was developed in the year 1980s, and we are using the Python 3 version from the 2008. So that's the main history of Python. After that, we are going to discuss about the differences between the compiler and interpreter, because Python is an interpreter language. For that only we need to know the differences between compiler and interpreter. For the first, the compiler read whole program at a time. Interpreter read program line by line. So that's the main difference between compiler and interpreter. Compiler read whole program at a time. Interpreter read line by line. And the second difference is the compiler translates the whole program into the machine code, but in interpreter it translates one by one line of program into machine code. So after that, the compiler produces the machine code which directly understood by the computer. But in the case of interpreter, it produces only the intermediate code. It does not produce any machine code for the computer to be understood. After that, the compiler takes more amount of time to analyze the source code, because compiler translates the whole program into the machine code. But in the interpreter, it takes less amount of time, because the interpreter reads the line one by one. So after that, the compiler is faster and the interpreter is slower, because it translates whole program, it translates one by one. And also the compiler requires more amount of memory space, but interpreter requires less amount of space. Also, the programming languages like C and C++ uses compiler, and the programming languages like Python and Ruby uses the interpreter. So that's the main difference between compiler and interpreter. So after that, we are going to need the diagrammatic representation of compiler and interpreter. First, we are going to talk about compiler, how the compiler works for the languages like C and C++. So first, the source code of the programming languages like C and C++ will be compiled by the compiler and translates into the machine code directly. And then we produce the output for our programming language. So that's the working of the compiler. It translates the source code directly into the machine code. So after that, we are going to talk about the interpreter. First, interpreter source code will be translated into byte codes. So that's the intermediate instruction of the interpreter. So after the byte codes is translated to Python virtual machine. So after that only we get output for our project. So that's the working of the interpreter. So interpreter translates the source code into the intermediate code only, not directly into the machine code. So that's the main difference. The compiler directly converts the source code into the machine code. So after that, we are going to discuss about the applications of Python. The first one is the web development. So you know the frameworks like Django and Flask, we can use that frameworks for our project. And the second one is the data analysis and visualization. For visualization, the Python libraries like NumPy, Pandas and Matplotlib. And the third application is machine learning and artificial intelligence. For the machine learning libraries like TensorFlow and scikit-learn, so we are going to need these libraries for our machine learning projects. And the fourth application is scientific computing. For the scientific computing like physics and astronomy, biology or numerical mathematical functions, we are going to need the Python libraries for executing that scientific computing. So these are all the applications we can use Python language. After that, we are going to discuss about what are all the IDEs available for Python for executing the code of the Python. For that, first one will be the PyCharm. So very useful for Python programming, machine learning projects and also deep learning projects. And the second one is the Visual Studio Code. Most of the developers using the Visual Studio Code. You can also use VS Code for Python language. And the third one is the Jupyter Notebook. We are going to need the Jupyter Notebook for our upcoming classes. So these are all the IDEs available for Python environment. You can also search for other softwares which are execute the Python programming language. So at last we are going to discuss about the advantages of the Python. So the first one is the readability. So human can understand and also machine can understand the programming language of Python. So that's the main advantage of readability, because the Python language is very easy and easy to understand. So syntax is very easy. Even the beginners can understand Python language. So that's the use of Python. And the second one is the versatility. Versatility is nothing but the Python can be run in all platforms like Windows, Mac or Linux. So that's the versatility. And the third one is the large standard libraries, because in machine learning most of the libraries are present in Python language. So for that only we are using Python for machine learning applications. And the last advantage is cross-platform compatibility. So it also same as the versatility, because it can run in all platforms like Windows, Mac OS and Linux. So these are all the advantages of Python. So in the upcoming class, we are going to discuss about how to install the Python and how to install the IDEs for Python language. So let's see you in the next class.